Only the Nigerian people can take credit for the successful containment of the Ebola virus disease in Nigeria, and not the president or any governor. This is according to President Goodluck Jonathan in reaction to criticisms from some quarters that it's wrong for the presidency to claim responsibility for ending the spread of the disease in Nigeria. The president was speaking during the visit to his office by members of a charity foundation made up of some prominent Nigerians.
I'm quite pleased with what is happening because I've realized over the period that government alone cannot solve human problems. And anything done by government, when you involve the private sector and the civil society, is always better. There are success cases. The most recent one is our ability to manage Ebola. The key thing that made Nigeria a success is the buy-in by the ordinary Nigerians. When government said, look, we must be mindful of gatherings, we must be mindful of handshakes, we should not move cups unnecessarily. I was afraid churches would resist because of practice of Holy Communion, leaving 1,000 people sharing the same cup and so on. Churches stopped that practice within that period. Even this looting by shaking people across, all those were suspended, even the religious organizations within that period. Nigerians become mindful, even friends stop embracing themselves until we get out of Ebola. So it had the buy-in of the populace. Of course, that's why we succeeded so fast. Otherwise, we couldn't have. There's no magic government would have used to solve that problem. No president or state governors would claim any credit. The credit should go to the ordinary Nigerians for the cooperation and buy-in.
President Goodluck Jonathan there giving credit to every Nigerian for the containment of the Ebola virus disease. Now, the First Lady, Patience Jonathan, has asked Nigerians to unite in prayers against insurgency and for the unconditional release of the Chibok girls. She said this at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, as she addressed a huge crowd, mostly women, who turned up during an empowerment program. She urged women to embrace the odds and contest in the 2015 general elections.
It was a fanfare of sorts as residents of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, led by the Minister of State for FCT, Oloye Jumoke Akinjide, and wife of Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, rolled out the drums to welcome the First Lady, who is visiting the state for the first time this year. The First Lady and her entourage moved to the Adamasingba Stadium, where women in their hundreds awaited her arrival. Mrs. Jonathan assured the crowd that issues affecting women will be given priority attention.
I must emphasize that we as women have an important role in the restoration of peace in our nation. Let us start from our home by raising our children and work to be responsible citizens.
The Minister of State, FCT, Oloye Jumoke Akinjide, who put the event together, gave the thumbs up to the First Lady's Women for Change and Development initiative, which she says has assisted women immensely. She adds that empowerment remains the key to gender equity and economic growth.
It is a moral imperative that in order for Nigeria to achieve its MDG goals, its development goals, its societal goals, its leadership goals, Nigeria must give women a seat at the table of governance.
On her part, the wife of the Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Abiola Ajimobi, says that the empowerment of women and other vulnerable groups in the society is the surest way to evenly develop the society.
For us in Oyo State today, the concept of empowerment involves emotional and psychological empowerment, as well as physical and health empowerment, in addition to financial empowerment, in order to foster an all-round and well-balanced development of our women.
The First Lady had also appealed to Nigerians not to lose hope on the cheaper girl. Bukola Oriowo reporting for Channels Television News.
First Bank.
Hello, welcome to Business News. I'm Loretta Chiogo. Members of the Bankers Committee are making good their promise to ensure small and medium enterprise get funds to grow their business using movements. The Managing Director of Zenith Bank, Mr. Peter Amangbo, after the committee's meeting in Abuja, told journalists that the establishment of a modern collateral registry will help SME owners who want funds register movable assets as security to obtain it.
One of the initiatives we agreed is the establishment of a modern collateral registry. Essentially what it will do is to ensure that even smaller customers that want access to loans and advances can register movable assets as security. And in this regard, what we are looking at is to have a registry that will be completely 100% electronic and is going to be centralized. So we'll have a central database of all movable security by prospective customers, especially the smaller retail ones and the consumer ones. Each creditor can come and register their own interest. But the key thing that is very, very easy, it will make availment of loans much easier for retail customers, for consumer customers, and much faster. So this is what we believe that by second quarter of next year, it should actually be in place, and it will enable the system to grant more small and medium-scale loans.
The Securities and Exchange Commission says it is investigating the circumstances surrounding the action of the Nigerian Stock Exchange in imposing technical suspension on Access Bank PLC shares. Last month, the NSE froze the shares of the lender for a week after the bank applied to the bourse that it wanted to avoid speculation ahead of its planned 68 billion naira rights issue. The Commission, in a statement, said it was aware of last month's price freeze on Access Bank shares, but had issued a directive 5 years ago that no listed company should have its share price frozen for reasons of fund raising. It reiterates that no technical suspension will be placed on trading in the securities of any company involved in raising capital in order to avoid unfair market practices. It is also assured that the investing public of its commitment to ensure the sustenance of investor confidence and integrity of the Nigerian capital market. HBCL Investment Services Limited has acquired Enterprise Bank, one of 3 nationalized banks bought by the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, in 2011. AMCON confirmed the investment services firm had completed payment, adding that as per the share purchase agreement, the agreed completion phase will now commence, and this includes seeking all regulatory approvals. HBCL Investment Services emerged the preferred bidder for Enterprise Bank on September 11 and made the first payment of 20% of the bid on September 15th in accordance with the terms of the acquisition. The emergence of HISL as preferred bidder resulted from a rigorous and competitive bidding process, which was coordinated for AMCON by Citigroup Global Markets Limited and Vetiva Capital Management Limited. And for a stock market report, the bears pushed the Nigerian equities market further south as sell pressure increased across board. And Nwaguru tells us more.
Hello and welcome to Stock Market Report. The bears pushed the Nigerian equities market further south as sell pressure increased across the board. After dropping over 1% at the end of midweek trade, the all-share index dropped by over 2% on Thursday, dragged down by losses recorded by some major market movers, including Dangote Cement. The all-share index now stands at 38,490.67, with a market capitalization of 12.7 trillion naira. Forte Oil led the decliners list, dropping 10 naira 90 kobo from its share price. Lafarge, Wapco and Dangote Cement also got the cold shoulder from investors as they lost 6 naira 15 kobo and 4 naira 94 kobo each. On the other hand, 7-Up, Honeywell Flour Mills and Qtix were the top 3 gainers for the session. FBN Holdings, Zenith Bank and ETI were major contributors to market volume. When the closing bell rang, investors heading 4,779 deals exchanged 524.22 million shares for 7.65 billion naira. Well, that's it on the stock market report. I am Anne Mwawadu.
Thank you, Anne. And that's it on Business News Tonight. It's back to Sulaiman.
When the news at 10 returns, reactions trail the sack of former Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi. That's some sports news. Stay with us.